flippin' funny dude. You can catch him doing his thing next Wednesday at State Farm Arena. Please welcome Bill Burr. Hey, Bill.
What's going on, guys?
We are excited you're coming to town. Can't wait for that. And you're just a multimedia empire.
I don't know about that. I definitely have done a number of things, but yeah, I'm a summer school kid. So if I'm doing well, that should inspire anybody. If somebody as dumb as me can be doing well in life, yeah, everybody has hope.
Hey, when you were a kid, like, were you the funny kid in high school or grammar school?
I was always funny, but I was shy. So I would be funny with my close friends where I didn't have to take any risk. But if I was in class and there was like the pretty popular girls and the football players, I kept my mouth shut. I knew my place.
It's impressive you're filling up arenas the size of State Farm. And I have to ask, because this is out, you've talked about anger issues. Imagine if you weren't so polarizing, how many of those at one time because those are the people that aren't offended filling up State Farm.
But here's the thing, I'm not polarizing. I'm not. I am like most people. That's why people are coming out to see me. What sort of Hollywood and New York City, they try to act like they represent the country, and they don't. And it's impossible for them to represent the country because they look down on, all 50 states, not even just the other 48. They call them flyover states. And they just don't even, they have absolutely no clue what is going on. They sit in both of those cities and they look at numbers. Conversely, I tour around and I see everybody. So one night I'm in a blue state, next night I'm in a red state, I'm in a rural area, a metropolitan area. Like there's, I go to, it's just different. And after a while, when you tour like that, without you even realizing it, subconsciously, you have an overall kind of view of what's funny. So it's like, when they put out a movie, they always have like a test audience. Doing stand-up comedy, you're doing a test audience every single night. And like different things work better different nights. But overall, you just sort of, if a joke doesn't work night after night after night in these different markets, you let the thing go. Okay? But some nights, if it doesn't work quite as well, you're like, oh, all right, these people are a little more racist here. Or these people are a little more,
yeah.
tree hugging here. You know what I mean? But then you just sort of, you can tell by their laugh. You can call them out on it. I don't know. I got a bit making fun of the Klan that just laid there when I was in New Jersey. And I was like, all right, people in New Jersey not liking the Klan. And then they laughed. It wasn't even like they didn't even know what to do with it. It was really weird. That was the weirdest show I did this year. I'd probably say that chunk of material in Newark, New Jersey. They didn't push back. They just sat there like they had no clue what I was even like. But wait, you're white. Why would you be saying that?
We're talking to Bill Burr. My husband and I watched last week Old Dads, laugh out loud. How much has acting helped the stand-up or the stand-up helped the acting? Because I first knew of you through your acting on Breaking Bad.
I found both those to be two completely different things in my brain. That's just how my brain works. So I had to work, really hard to get good at acting, which I don't even think, I'm getting there, right? I'm a much better comedian than I am an actor. So it's like, they're two completely different things where like when I'm doing stand-up, it's like I'm never shutting up and I'm looking at the crowd, right? And I say the setup and I say the punchline. All of a sudden, I get into an acting scene. I got to listen to you. Maybe you're doing the setup. I'm doing the punchline. We have to figure out how we fit together. It's really sort of an inverse thing for me compared to stand-up. But
it's hard. You've got to, like you said, so many factors to take in.
Yeah, being a good actor, I think, is a lot harder than being a good comedian.
Well,
there's a lot more moving parts. It's the difference between flying a helicopter and flying an airplane, I would say, or maybe like as far as like the amount of moving parts, where like an fixed wing is a lot like more like simple. And if the engine cuts out, you still fly.
The helicopter, you drop. Exactly.
Well, you go into an auto rotation, what you do. But if you miss if your RPMs go down too low, that's it. You're in a bag of bolts and you're done.
Well, I think what most people can relate to, and I know I do, is the things that piss you off are the things that piss me off. And like following you in social when you just start ranting and just driving down a street will inspire it. I mean, are you constantly taking notes? Because everything must piss you off these days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I mean, listen, I'm doing a show when I'm on stage. So people think that I just walk around and just like, what's up with this? What's up with that? I mean, I'm not doing that. I'm actually more quiet, just sort of observing things. And then a few things will just sort of catch my eye, but I don't necessarily write them down. I just more think like I'm going to talk about that on stage, and then I sort of write on stage.
My point was there's no end in material these days because people are just being people, and sometimes that can be a little
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm not trying to divide people either. I think that's, what CNN and Fox News have done. I mean, they should be tried for treason. It's like they get up every morning and try to see how they can get us to be Hatfield and McCoy. Was never like that when I was growing up. We had political, people didn't even bring up politics, and just having them day after day after day just blaming each other has really been a bad thing. So I'm trying to do like the opposite.
Bill, I read an interview with you where you said kind of one of the turning points for you was when you shaved your head. Can you explain that?
Yeah, why?
Why what?
Why
did I shave my head? Male pattern baldness.
I know, but your hair didn't look bad for what that's worth. And did someone say, hey, you should think about it? Or you were just like, whatever, I'm just going to shave it?
No, I was going bald. So you go one of two ways. You either go out and you get the hair system, and then you start taking videos of yourself swimming and saying how wonderful it is. Or you just play the hand. You just play the hand that God dealt you, and you just go with it. So it would end up being a great thing for me because as much as Hollywood acts like they're liberal, they don't. They have everybody in a drawer. Okay, so I was in the redhead drawer. The redhead drawer is your Richie Cunningham, your Howdy Doody. You don't get the girl, you don't get the gun, you don't get to be a jerk, right? And the thing is I'm that's not the word I want to use, but I am a jerk. So once I shave the head, you shave your head. What's funny about it is there's a certain segment of the population thinks suddenly you know how to do all that UFC stuff, But once they look at your ears and see that, once they see you don't have cauliflower ears, they're like, all right, this guy's not tough, right? But this look just works more with what's coming out of my mouth. So back when I had hair and I was up there and they're like, oh my goodness, it's Ron Howard. He's going to be pleasant. And then I would go up there and say what I said. They couldn't do the math that, hey, not all redheads are the Richie Cunningham character. Like they still can do that, which is the funniest thing about Hollywood is when they have like these award shows and they're always lecturing red states about race relations. And if you look at Hollywood, like sports integrated over 60 years ago. And if you compare Hollywood to like baseball, it looks like baseball in about 1960 still.
True.
And they're going around. Yeah, but here's the thing. They don't even just do it to non-white people. They do it to white people too. Like, you're a lead. All right, you're fat, so you're this. You're a redhead. You're that. It's. I can't even tell you. I love living out here, but it's really a funny place. It's a fun place for a comedian to live.
So when you did it and you looked in the mirror the first time, you were like, "Oh, I do have a good head shape," because no one ever knows until you do it.
Oh man, that's a big day. That's that thing when you're watching the World Series of Poker, when they go all in and then they just stand up.
Yeah.
They got their hands on top of their head like, here comes the river. Yeah, I was hoping I didn't have it's the back of the head. You don't want to have the flat back of the head or dents in your head and stuff. So, yeah, I lucked out.
All right, man. Well, everyone is looking forward to the show next Wednesday, State Farm Arena. Congrats on all the success. We can't wait till all the bad Hollywood stuff is away so we can get together again and talk acting, because I think you're a fantastic actor in all the stuff you've done.
So funny. We're big fans. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, shout out to Jamie Bendel at the Punchline. Those guys always booked me when I was coming through way back in the day. I love those guys. I think Jamie's going to come down to the show too. Very happy.
He is a great guy, and I saw him do his stand-up for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, super smart, really dry. He slips his jokes past you, And then you kind of do the math, and by the time you figure it out, you look over and he has that smile on his face. I love that guy.
Yeah, nice guy. I want to go see him do his judge work because he's
Which
a
is
judge
crazy.
in
Yeah.
Fulton, in North Fulton or Fulton County. I can't even imagine that. All right, Bill Burr, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, guys. I'll see you.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie.
99X.